Hey everyone, today what we're going to be doing is replacing the stock fog lights on a C4 Corvette with upgraded xenon lights. As you can see, these are about 8 times brighter, and the reason I'm doing this is because A, it's a little bit more difficult to replace the actual headlights, and B, the fog lights are particularly dull. Carrying stock bulbs, it's an easy replacement and they'll help with nighttime vision a little bit. I wish the color was a little bit warmer than this one. This is a 6000 bulb. They sell all sorts of warmths and brightnesses. This is a 55 watt conversion kit. And what I'm going to do now is walk you through the installation process. The first step is accessing the fog light from underneath the front bumper. So just to orient, this is the fog light we're replacing. If you come directly underneath it, there is, handy and labeled, the fog lamp access cover. This uses a 7mm socket that can be removed. I already loosened mine up with the socket, which is why it came out so easily. And then the flap just comes right down like this. Now that we've opened up the cover, what we need to do is reach up into the cover towards the outside of the car and remove the bulb. In this case, the fog light bulb that we're removing is that one with the brown/tan cover. There is a clip, sorry, let me get the lighting right here. You can see there is a black tab with 2 attachment points, one on the left. I won't be able to show this on camera, but you will spread those apart. This one goes to the left, this one goes to the right, and that allows you to unplug the bulb. You can see that the fog light is now unplugged. This is the cord that plugs into the fog light bulb. To remove the fog light, we are going to grab it and twist it 45 degrees counterclockwise, which will allow it to drop down out underneath the car towards the ground. This is what the bulb looks like once removed. You can see it has those 3 clips that clip into the underneath of the car. So all we're doing is we're rotating it 45 degrees so that it can fall out the bottom. Be careful not to touch the glass portion of the bulb, for if we need to reinstall this bulb, fingerprints will severely hinder the lifespan of the bulb. What we will be installing is the 55 watt fog light that is sold by Vette Lights. I'll provide a link in the description. When you open the box, you'll get 2 kits. Each kit contains 1 bulb as well as 1 power adapter. The power adapter connects with this right here to the existing wiring harness of the vehicle, and then these 2 plug into the light over here. So what we're going to do is actually test the light outside of the car before we install it to make sure everything's working. So first, we're going to plug in to the wiring harness of the vehicle. This can only be oriented in one direction correctly, and it will clip right into position. Next, we're going to take these 2 plugs and we're going to connect them to the lights provided. Again, these can only plug in correctly in one direction. Now, I'm just going to turn on the fog lights to make sure that the bulb is working. Note that if the bulb does not turn on, you may have to switch the polarity of the cord that connects the vehicle's wiring harness to the power adapter's wiring harness. The polarity matters for the bulb, but this connector can be plugged in both directions, so I did have to flip it on the other side. On this side, it came pre-installed in the correct orientation. Now that we know that the light works, we're going to remove the protective cover that the bulb ships with. To do this, you unscrew the top, the bottom slides out the bottom, down the wires, and these plastic protective washers can be removed. So, when you're ready for installation, all you have is the 3 black clips and this rubber weatherproofing seal. Again, be careful not to touch the bulb, as doing so could hinder its performance. I recommend leaving the wiring harness unplugged while you do the bulb installation to make it so there are less wires in the way of your hand and sight lines. I know it's a little difficult to see, but just to try to show you the installation, I'm reaching up under the cover and to where the old fog light was. You insert it up into the hole and then you twist it until it snaps into place. There's only one correct orientation, and clockwise is the direction you rotate it in order to install it. So there's the position, and I rotate and we are installed. Now, the second to last step is reconnecting the bulb, which we installed, to the wiring harness. Again, these can only be connected in one orientation. At this point, we can test the lights one more time to make sure that the fog lights are coming out of the projector, the non-projector housing correctly. As you can see, we've now installed both fog lights correctly. This should dramatically improve our illumination at night. The last step is tucking the wiring harness up underneath the car. The wiring harness does come with 3 spots where you could permanently fix this device to the car. I haven't yet tested these at night, so I'm going to use something temporary until I've completed testing this. People might use Velcro or outdoor command strips. What I'm using in the meantime is some black gasket sealer. This stuff is tacky and it's a bit rubbery in texture. Ready? Okay, so what we're going to do now is push the wires into the car in a safe location and then mount this securely. What I've seen people do for permanent solutions, and by the way, I'm tucking the wires up underneath the fog light, these reside in the bumper, which is a dry and protected space, so really the biggest enemy in this case is going to be vibration. All of the clips lock into position, so I'm not particularly worried about them shaking loose, but we might as well do our best we can to protect everything. So again, the wires are going underneath the fog light bulb, and I'm going to mount the power adapter, which is the only hard thing to mount, on the bottom surface of the front bumper. Again, small screws could be used for a more permanent application. Additionally, you could affix it to the flap like so. What I'm going to do while I test this at night for the first time, is put a bit of adhesive on this surface and a bit on the bottom and firmly mount them like this, as it is a flat on flat surface.